So, here we are again. Another coach gone, another season gone with oh so very little to celebrate, and another offseason full of nothing but question marks. In unfortunate position, this team has been in a great number of times. Now admittedly, I did kind of figure Stefanski would get another year to try and pry some blood out of the stone, even if it is just using the excuse of stability for Shadur. But I can't say I'm surprised he's gone. You can look at his successes and a number of almosts throughout the years. Consistently good to great defenses, a number of effective offensive weapons finding a place on the roster and contributing, and 2 trips to the postseason. Then you have the flip side. There were 2 winning seasons, from 2020 to 2025. But above anything else that could define his coaching tenure, there is one thing that sticks out. And it's the one thing that he was stuck with and might not have even had a hand in, Deshaun Watson. I know he's only the coach, and stuff like this comes from the GM and the owner in turn, probably mostly the owner in this case. And recent articles kind of do paint the picture that he didn't want Deshaun Watson, that wasn't so much his call. But as much as this video is supposed to be about Kevin Stefanski's reign as a head coach amounting to not a whole lot, you can't separate his time in Cleveland from the whole problem with Deshaun Watson. You can look at a number of things in regards to decision making in game or even the type of game plan used, but a lot of this tenure comes back to a decision to sell off a 2022 first, a 2023 first, and a goddamn 2024 first, for which is supposed to be the quarterback to get the rest of this team to the promised land. He was the win-now coach who had brought success in his first year here, and some people believe that Watson was the piece to go with our win-now coach to get this team all the way there. The price paid in self-respect or even draft capital be damned. I mean, there was reason to think this. The team was good, or at least on the verge of being good. 2020 has Kevin Stefanski roll in off the back of a 6-10 Freddie Kitchen season, and saw the team go 11-5 with Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, OBJ, and David Njoku, all serving as a great accent to the pounding run game on the backs of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Of course, then 2021 happened. The rushing game still rolled along at a solid clip, but was forced to go a bit deeper given injuries and missed time. But the big story was Baker. Baker struggled, seeing fewer yards, more interceptions, and less touchdowns. It certainly looks bad, and well, it actually was bad, and you can see just by looking at the numbers alone. But in context, he was injured and noticeably so, playing through those injuries most of the season and trying to grit it out with really poor results. And now, I'm not trying to excuse every problem. Baker had a lot of issues that year beyond being injured, and his play style didn't help. He's very much been a gunslinger, and we saw his difficulties in Carolina, and we saw some of his difficulties even with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He will turn the ball over. But using hindsight, we see the level Baker can play at. He can play at a high level and elevate receivers and a team and get an offense churning and going. But of course, that's with another team, so the Browns might just be cursed actually, and the moment you leave, you get good. After the team slipped from 11-5 to 8-9, there was a major shift in tone from the upper levels of the team regarding Baker. Previous success didn't matter. Further investment was deemed unnecessary. The team had pieces and was posed to make a charge at the Lombardi, or at least postseason revenue. And the solution seemed to be this whole saga with getting Deshaun and selling the future for this win-now move for the quarterback who hadn't played in 2 years, who was an adult with, at the time, 22 sexual assault accusations, and a fully guaranteed contract for $230 million. So now Stefanski has the quarterback the team needs to compete, and he has to go get the team there now. But first, there's an 11-game suspension, gets served, and the man the team sold the farm for shows up on the field, goes 3-3 to get the team to a whopping 7-10, accomplishing nothing. Once again, a solid defense, good run game, and decent weapons amounting to nothing. Not even a good draft pick, cause we sold it off. Well, that was 2022. Maybe 2023 will be better. A year for Deshaun to get more familiar with Stefanski's system, maybe be a better player than he is a person, knock off the rust. Deshaun comes out this year, goes 5-1, throws for 1,115 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Isn't terrible, but you'll notice that he played 6 games. So that's 2 seasons now for an 8-4 record and 12 total games played. Well, then a miracle happens. Old man Joe Flacco rolls in, off the couch, goes 4-1, 1,616 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, gets this team into the postseason. Don't have to talk about what happens in the postseason. Oh, and Stefanski gets his second coach of the year. So 2023 is the miracle run, let's be honest. But 2024 is here. Deshaun should be healthy and actually get us somewhere, right? Actually justify selling the farm, end our souls for the creep. And in reality, he played 7 games, went 1-6 with 1,148 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. So now, the $230 million man has gone a grand total of 9-10. Finally got past a single season's worth of games though. But then we arrive at the final season of Stefanski's tenure, 2025. We finally have picks this year, and 2 of them end up being QBs to actually get us through the season. You can take your pick over whether or not the QB situation was handled well. It wasn't, but it's a lot of kindling just going on this already raging bonfire. The Browns go 5-12. We grab a top 10 pick and a late round first thanks to a trade last year with the Jags. Oh, and Garrett grabs a sack record along the way. Cap the season, Stefanski's fired. I don't even know if he was truly the root cause of any major problem. I do think that some of the quarterback issues run back to him, but the Browns have, for most of their renewed history, been absolutely hellacious at actually developing QB talent. I can't testify that if moving off Baker was the right or wrong call. Maybe he rebounds in Cleveland, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he becomes a trade piece for something else instead of a 5th rounder. But head coaches are so often tied to their quarterbacks, and whether he wanted it or not, Stefanski got duct taped to Watson after Baker was gone. This team was win now, and he was the coach to get them there, and Watson was going to be the quarterback to do it. But it really just wasn't to be. And in the end, a change had to happen somewhere. I don't know if I like Stefanski being fired, because it feels like a root issue in this tenure, hell, most of the Browns' recent failures is from up the chain. A wrong hire setting the team back. Owners getting involved in decisions that set the team back. Bad draft picks, admittedly. Recent drafts have been good, getting solid role players and legit talents onto the team in a good way. And above all else, there's a failure to find or develop QB talent. Kevin Stefanski's tenure is one that had a lot of hope and optimism early. Quickly, though, it got weighed down by a boat anchor of a deal and trade, giving both the team and its coach damaged, ineffective goods that couldn't stay on the field and couldn't perform up to the expectation they had. In the end, thank you, Coach Stefanski, for a few good years and a lot of memorable moments. I won't say they were all good memories, but they certainly weren't all bad. I'm looking forward to see how you do in your next job. I believe it will be a head coach because I think you are an NFL caliber head coach.